I would like to make 3 quick points, and I would like to ask a question. Returning to the facts, actually, the first question was asked about the wall, right? Documentary evidence shows that the Israeli Knesset was celebrating building the barrier for legitimate purposes way before 2000, way before the Second Intifada. Secondly, yes, Israeli policy does not really say that you're doing Palestinians. However, in 48, some Israeli officials, mainly the Prime Minister, made it their argument for extermination of Palestinians, not killing them, actually exterminating them. And the third point is going back to the Palestinian official body or the government. In 2002, Hamas was not an official governmental body. In 2006, Hamas had won the elections but was excommunicated because of Israeli pressures and international pressure, and that's why Hamas was in the And another point is like Hamas used to offer long-time truces to Israel, but the Israeli Knesset repeatedly turned those deals down. My question now is, why do you call like the Intifada or like throwing rocks as like a symbolic non-violent act? And like what like do you have like can you elaborate on that? Can you like clarify that for I'm gonna guess it already.
Absolutely. Well, the reason I call this a symbolic act or non-violent act is you have to understand, even if they do those usually as a reaction to something, like the house being invaded at night, the child being killed by the Israeli troops, so on and so on. So it's always a reaction to something. The reason I call it non-violent is because I even though not examining it in any way, I do make the distinction between being non-violent to being, how's it called? I forgot the word, to basically being a pacifist. Yeah, I do make the distinction, and the reason I find the act of throwing stones so symbolic is because I've never seen anyone. I've always seen a lot of people getting injured by the ammunition and that the army throws at us, and also by sticks. But I know that once the soldier is approaching a Palestinian or an Israeli, chances are they would never. Possibly because of strategical reasons, and possibly because they know they won't be able to, and possibly because they don't want to be punished for that. But all of those legitimate reasons prevent us from basically show any kind of power besides our voice and our bodies, like I said, and cause any injuries on soldiers.
I just want to respond to you about Hamas, not wanting peace. Shortly before Operation Cast Lead, they offered to renew the fragile peace that had been going on between both. Khaled Mashal was ready to renew it with Robert Passer, who was the U.S. diplomat, and Israel did not return the offer. So, regardless of what the beliefs are, we agree with them. Of course, I don't agree with all the beliefs. They were making the steps toward renewing the peace, and they were not reciprocated.
I'd just like to respond to that. I understand there was a ceasefire, but saying, fine, we will have a ceasefire from our beliefs to kill you, okay, cool, fine, 6 months, kill us, sweet, thanks. I mean, I don't buy that.
As far as Hamas rejecting those beliefs, I think that they would lose a lot of credibility if they dropped everything and recognized Israel as a Jewish state. It'd be sort of like having people who were kicked out by Americans, like people of Latino background, recognizing conquered land as white territory, something like that. they would lose credibility. So as a political move, I would think that I can see where they're coming from.
Hamas has also made it clear that while it does not recognize Israel's right to exist, that it is willing to live in peace with the state of Israel as long as Israel is willing to honor its obligations to recognize Palestine.
I know you came from law school and you got a lot of things on tour. You're going on tour right now and doing a lot of teaching and you're illuminating a lot of things for folks. But besides just educating folks, when you come here, what is it that you'd like folks to potentially do for Israelis who are actually standing up to the idea of this the government and the policies?
To Israelis, I don't think Israelis want to be like sold out as Israelis. It's not that I think paints this picture of Israel and have that down left. What they do want is for all of you to be in solidarity with the Palestinians. I don't think people tell me how important the job I do is. I feel like I'm obligated to do so. I am obligated to do so. The Palestinians, however, they don't have the same privileges that I have, that they do need people's support. They do need you to say, we support you in any way you want, and they want you to support them in the big yes. That's the call that they put out for the rest of the world, and they think that that's the best way to support them, be in solidarity with them. Another way I'd like to, if you ever think about coming not working for America, I think that also join the IXM. They do a basic job. They do a very similar job to the one that Anarchists against the world does. I really like that that action group actually. I think that the also will look at different organizations in America that will build.
There's different organizations over here that discuss things like that. I mean, there's Jewish Voice to Speak. There's a Palestine office, a local place over here in this area, and there's others. So there's
Students from Palestine or students from Palestine?
Yeah.
Safe?
different things like that. But on that note, I think we're cutting into our hour here. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in, and thank the speaker for coming. If you guys want to ask any personal, one-on-one questions and things like that. Thanks again.